Tonight's topic is the art of weaponry, and it's from The Weaponeer, written in 1984. Men have been fascinated by weapons since the first true men selected weapons worth keeping. Sub-men obviously hurled rocks and sticks at game, predators, and other sub-men. But objects picked up and used once and then discarded are hardly weapons except in a legal sense. The true weapon was an object worth keeping and carrying around. Only when stones and clubs of the right shape and balance were appreciated and kept could the art of weaponry advance. Only then did man rise above the animals and dominate the earth. So the appreciation of weapons is an almost instinctive preoccupation of the most practical of our species. Moreover, danger to the system inspires far-sighted men to arm themselves and their fellows. The student of weaponry, as well as the professional weaponeer, is an asset to his culture. The more he knows, the more territory he can defend, either as an individual or by supplying less well-armed friends and neighbors. There is also a strong profit motive in making weapons to sell. The Poor Man's James Bond series details weapons of all kinds in all eras and explains how they work. In Volume 3, the 1883 gunsmithing course will be of practical interest to modern gunsmiths, gun collectors, and those who would like to reproduce or repair the old models. It also shows how the Afghans and Pakistanis make their guns, as there is a lot of handwork described. The other 19th century reprints of weapons developed before and during the American Civil War illustrates the intellectual interest in weaponry by our most respected ancestors. For those who like medieval weaponry to reproduce as working models or as attractive wall hangings to sell, the popular Mechanics series, also in Poor Man's James Bond 3, will be appreciated. The Poor Man's James Bond series also details improvised weaponry in the finest tradition. Regardless of the availability of conventional weaponry, you can feel secure. You will be able to defend your home and loved ones with the most outrageous infernal gadgetry imaginable. Your territory will be a nightmare of booby traps, mines, and alarm devices. Suffice it to say that although the knowledge in the Poor Man's James Bond series is legal, its application may be a felony, but that's your lookout. I take no moral stance. I will leave moral considerations up to the individual. Knowledge must be available to anyone who wants it for whatever purpose, whether practical or whimsical. Individuals who cannot be trusted with lethal knowledge should be put away. Responsible citizens must be free to do as they please and not be bound by restrictions normally placed on an irresponsible minority. I will not play the role of public guardian. I will not hold information from decent people because a few morons and psychotics might buy the books. As world civilization crumbles, the liberal hearts go out to the degenerates causing its fall. The decent citizen is ignored and increasingly disarmed. The predator is favored over his victim. With the Poor Man's James Bond series, I hope to turn the tide. Let the authorities remove the cancer from our societies rather than enslaving us on their behalf. If their rights are to be considered above ours, we have no recourse but to go for overkill. If dangerous parasites are to be favored over good citizens, then good citizens must become even more dangerous. This won't save our system, it's too late, but we will thereby defeat them and thus survive. Atlan Formularies will proceed to publish material which will enable anyone, regardless of his situation, to defeat any antagonist. We provide knowledge of the weapons needed for any contingency. My definition of a weapon is any method of overcoming an enemy. It may involve simply outthinking him with a good mind, harassing him with dirty tricks, thwarting him with legal machinations, or eliminating him with deadly force. Even so, this knowledge is not simply being thrown to the winds. There has at least been an attempt at selection. Our goal in the Poor Man's James Bond is to arm the best in our society against the worst. You are probably alert to the decline of our system. This alone makes you one of the elite, worthy of being so armed. You either have something of value to offer the next generation or can help destroy those who would be a threat to the next generation. You may neither have the moxie nor the background to master all the skills in all the books. But as you read these books, you will so far outstrip your foes that there will be putty in your hands if you let them live at all. If the subject matter seems harsh, you must realize you're living in a harsh world. Moreover, things will get worse before we can make them better. If you are what you hope you are, if you can be what you may have to be to continue, you will drop your illusions fast. Only realists will be a functional part of the future. Okay, here I am again. The phone number is 501-437-2963, and the mailing address for the $10 information packet is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas 72611. And for the $10, you get a sample copy of U.S. Militia, the only magazine for community defense, and Shoestring Entrepreneur, telling you how to sell anything you can make or grow, and your choice of Root Rot, the book about slavery written in the 19th century. Well, that is several articles written in the 19th century that completely puts the lie to Alex Haley's roots. And it's a kind of material that is never shown in black history studies. And it's a great book, and you'll love it. Or else, if you don't care for that, then order the Fuel book, which tells you how to make alcohol. And I'll tell you that when the collapse comes, anyone who knows how to make alcohol will be able to write his own ticket, because it's a fantastic way to make a living, because then there won't be any revenuers, there won't be any liquor tax, and you'll anyone that drinks will beat a path to your door, and they'll certainly protect you from any looters. And I've had quite a few questions about the Corona grain mill, and it's $40 plus $4 UPS. It weighs 11 pounds. It'll last you all your life. And you order it, and it won't take but a week to 10 days to get it after we get your order. And nothing's happening. Well, this was a short editorial tonight, so don't wait until regular, because you start calling in. The phone number is 501-437-2963. Now, I'm getting my tire garden really on the way. I got about 150 tires, and I'm going to get about 150 more. And I have been reading up on tire gardens, and I got a question for someone out there, but in the meantime, I'll answer this call. Hello, Kurt here.
Yeah, hi, Kurt. This is Stuart from New York. I just had a quick question for you.
Okay, Stuart.
I already got the info pack, and I put it in order, but I was wondering if I could get the two items on the fuel and the root rot at, if I send in some extra money.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, the root rot will cost $5. The next order you send in, just ask for root rot. And the fuel book, I'll give it to you free with any order.
Okay, great.
See, now you people who have ordered the information packet and you want the fuel book, just send in an order and say, send me a free fuel book, and I'll send you one. Also, you see, the fuel book is being reprinted in Volume 5 of the Survivor, so no one will need to miss out. And once I get Survivor Volume 5 printed, everyone will want one.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Kurt.
Sure enough, Stuart.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas. And the question I want to ask from somebody out there, I've been reading up on the tire gardens, I know most about them anyway, but I see these pictured articles about how great tire gardens are, and I'll try to get in that question. Okay, here I am.
Hello, Kurt.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Paul. I'm calling from Western New York.
Paul.
How are you doing, Kurt?
I'm doing great. Do you know how to turn tires inside out, Paul?
No, I don't believe I've ever tried to do that. But
well, you see, the thing is, to make the tire garden, you drill a 1/4-inch hole in just right up to the tread, and then you put the saber saw in the hole and you just cut around it. See, okay, now that's the first step. That's what I've got, and it makes for a good tire garden. But what I'd rather do is turn it inside out. That makes it much nicer. That way you don't need to paint the treads, because you get all the paint in the treads there, and that's just a waste of paint. Also, they would look nicer. So, Paul, you don't know how to do it. I'm sorry, Paul.
No, I've never tried to do that, although I am interested in gardening, but I've never never attempted tire gardening.
Well, you ought to do, because that's the raised bed. You've heard of the raised bed principle, haven't you?
Sure.
Okay, you got your automatic raised bed. The tires will never wear out. They don't cost you anything, and you go to your tire selling place, and they'll hug your neck if you'll take them away free.
Okay.
So you've got your you've got your raised bed free. Now all you got to do is put the soil in there.
Yeah, I see.
So if anybody out there knows how to turn a tire inside out once you've got it cut, I'd sure appreciate that. It seems terribly simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I tried it. It can't be done, at least not with the human strength of one person.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. I'm probably going to be putting a garden in this year, and I'll give that a try for sure.
Well, you ought to do it. Now, if you can't turn them inside out, don't worry your head about it, because you still got about the same space, but they just look nicer if they are turned inside out.
Sure. Well, I'm calling in reference to your editorial. I found it quite interesting, and I have not yet subscribed to your packet, but I am thinking very seriously about doing so. I've been listening to your program for the last few weeks.
Yes.
And you have a lot of good things to say.
Well, I tell you, the issue 4 of U.S. Militia is at the printers now. They called us today about the cover, and it will be printed in a few days. And instead of giving issue 1 or 3, as I have been doing in the information packet, I'm going to put an issue 4 in there, and it is among the best. It's fantastic. It's got a great story about Clarence. It's got a great editorial. It's got a great section on the revolt against civilization by Lothrop Stoddard in 1922. It's got one of the best chapters in Wheels of Rage. It's a collector's item in itself. It's worth all kinds of money, but of course you get it as part of the offer there. And of course you get $5 off if you subscribe to it after that. And then if you should subscribe to it, you'd get all 4 issues to start, and then you'd have the 2 issue 4s, which you could give 1 to a friend, see?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. I'll try to get you a check in the mail this week. I'm kind of interested in that packet, and looking forward to reading it.
Well, everybody gets it. Only one person sent it back, and he said it wasn't worth it. And I don't think he hardly opened it. I think maybe I must have said something on the radio, and then he got it, and he sent it back without even looking at it.
Well, that's too bad. You know, he might have been missing out on a lot of good information there.
Well, I'm sure he was, but some people are very sensitive. I think they ought to just listen to the mainstream radio programs where people are not allowed to say anything that might offend any of the buying audience. See, well, that's not my way. But people who are ultra sensitive, they couldn't use my material anyway.
Right. I've been listening to your program for the past few weeks, and you certainly are out of the mainstream. However, I think you're also more into reality than anything I've heard on conventional radio.
Well, see, I did major in journalism, and I was a reporter, and I know a lot about advertising. And whereas people think that the media is biased and lying and all that, it's not really that, Paul. The thing is, the media has to please the listeners, the viewers, the readers. If they upset them, then they get angry and they don't buy what is advertised on the media. See? Like, I'll give you an example. You probably remember a few years ago when there was a lot of outcry about little kids getting into used refrigerators, thrown away refrigerators.
Sure, they're suffocating.
Okay, so this TV station had a very good TV story on that, a drama about a little child who had gotten in there, and of course they saved him at the last second. Well, they didn't air it. Now the reason they didn't air it was because one of their advertisers was a manufacturer of refrigerators.
I see.
Okay, now you see that it was a different, it probably didn't even say what brand it was, but see, the manufacturer of the refrigerator didn't want any of the viewers to associate buying their fantastic refrigerator, which was probably first rate, and a child being in danger. See, so the media has to choose its programming so as not to upset people.
That's correct. I agree.
So it's the bottom line is advertising and money.
That's the name of the game is money.
Yes.
I agree.
Well, if the TV or radio or newspaper doesn't get the ad money, they're out of business. So it's the advertisers that dictates what goes on. It's not anybody sinister up there pulling strings.
That's right. That's right. Getting back to your editorial there,
yes.
I've been listening to what you had to say there. I'm personally a Christian man, and I find a great deal of abhorrence to taking another human life.
Yes.
I'm not the kind of guy that wants to go out and kill people, but I'm starting to become more aware of the fact that the time may come when that may be necessary, and I'm trying to prepare myself for it.
Well, Paul, your only decision is your life worth more than the person who is trying to take your life?
I agree. It's a decision that may have to be made in the future, and it's not one I look forward to, but it's something that many of us may be forced to make that decision. If things get as bad as some people believe they're going to, then we're going to be faced with a situation where we may have to take another life just to save our own.
Yes.
And I'm trying to prepare myself for that.
Well, I'm sure you will, Paul.
Okay, well, it's been good talking to you, Kurt. You got a good program, and keep up the good work. I enjoy listening to you, everything you have to say there, and I'll let you go so somebody else can get in there and talk to you, okay?
Okay, Paul, thank you.
Okay, you have a good night.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963, and the mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Hello, Kurt here.
Hi, Kurt. This is Wildflower.
Hi, Wildflower.
You wanted to know how to turn a tire inside out?
How do you do it?
Well, for one thing, you got a good vise.
A good what?
Good, large vise, metal working vise.
Well, now, you see, here's the problem right at the beginning. The vise is downstairs in the basement, attached to the work table, and to carry 150 tires down, it's also in a very inconvenient position for tires. Tires are simply too big.
Well, it would make the job a lot easier.
Well, I guess if I should have it taken outside. Okay, you got your vise. Then what happens? Because
okay.
The thing is, you can disattach your vise and take it out in the work area, and maybe put it on attach it to a log.
Well, nice solid workbench that's solidly attached to a building.
Yes.
Because turning a tire inside out, I'll give you the easiest way I have known.
Yeah.
Okay. Assuming this is a two-belt glass ply tire.
Well, don't be too technical, because I don't know what that
glass
is.
belt.
Which?
In other words, these aren't steel-belted tires that you're going to turn inside out.
Well, the ones I have are.
Well,
the treads are
makes
steel.
it just a little harder. Okay, you cut out the rim support there.
Yes.
That's
well, I cut it out up to the tread.
Yeah. You cut it up to the tread?
Yes.
Okay. You put your tire into the vise there. Maybe
yeah.
You have to use a couple of boards. One on the inside, one on the outside.
Yeah.
And the tire is placed so that sitting in the vise, the tire is away from you.
Well, I get the picture, but you're talking about a whole lot of work, and maybe it's more work than it's worth.
Well, you wanted to know how to turn it inside out.
Well, okay, but...
you have to pull it up, the tire up over the vise while it's clamped in position.
Yeah.
And that'll generally do the trick. You might have to use a little leverage with a 2x4.
Yeah, well, you're talking too big a job, because the thing is, the only big difference is that the treads are showing, and it would look nicer the other way. But just for looks, hey, you're filling something full of dirt and planting something in it. It's not worth it.
Heck, no, you could just paint the thing there. Use some cheap enamel paint.
Yeah, well, I would say...
Alkyd enamel, you know?
Well, not enamel, Wildflower. It should be...
Or latex.
Cheap latex, outside paint, yeah. And when I painted my tires, I put about 1/3 water in it. It made it go faster, and it went in the tread, and you do it with a real fuzzy roller.
Yeah.
So we'll just, unless someone can come up with an easier way of turning them inside out, I say just let the treads show.
Well, the other way, if it's any interest to you, is just cut the tire all the way through at one point.
Yeah.
And bend it back over till it overlaps, you know.
Well, these tires are pretty stout.
Yeah, well, you know, you're asking, I've seen it done. It's just a question of you put a lot of time and effort into it.
Well, you see, I'm trying to encourage people to get a pickup truck and sell like 10 tires for $280. Not selling the tires. They go out there to the people's house and they set up a 10-tire garden. That's the large tires, which has about 6 square feet of planting space in them.
Yeah.
They sell the tires. They put in the soil, and maybe they even paint the tires. You just one color paint, and even give some frames. And so it would cost them maybe about $20–30 for materials and their labor, depending on if they're paying somebody. But they would get a very good profit. They might sell if they sold a couple of tire gardens a day, they would make a very, very good living. But when you start talking about all the trouble it would take to turn those tires on inside out just for a little aesthetic value, I don't think it's worth it.
Well, instead of using your, muscle power,
yeah,
you attach the other end, the opposite end, to where it's vice clamped.
Yeah.
With a piece of rope.
Yeah.
And tie the other end to your bumper.
Well, you see, you're spending too much time per tire.
Well, this is the thing is you want to turn something that's not normally inside out.
Yeah, we see my method, it wouldn't take you but, about an hour to process 10 tires, or even less, because it takes about 5 minutes to cut each tire.
Right.
See? And maybe a minute to paint it with a fuzzy roller. But you start using a truck and vise and ropes and 2x4s, and no, it's not cost-effective, Wildflower.
Yeah, well, I've seen them out use it in the, I've seen a picture of one person with a tire garden, and he was using truck tires there, the big ones there.
Yeah.
And he stacked 2 of them up there because where he lived there, the soil's very hard.
Yeah.
And he wanted some shade trees.
Yeah.
And that's what he was using, like a large pot to plant the trees.
Yeah. Okay, well, something like that. And of course, if an individual wants to do it for himself, but I'm thinking about people selling tire gardens, and it would take up more time than it was worth.
Yeah. Well,
what would that about it, Wildflower?
Well, about your alcohol book.
Oh, the alcohol book, okay.
I agree that it'd be far better just to go back to drinking the stuff than putting it into your engine.
I've never suggested putting it in your engine. I can't imagine anybody stupid enough to make a couple of gallons of alcohol and put it in his car when gasoline is maybe $1.25 a gallon, and the gallon of alcohol is worth maybe $30.
Yeah. For alternative fuel for the car, they should look into maybe methane, methanol,
yeah,
wood gas,
yeah,
or, the guy on the other night there talked about acetylene gas.
Yeah,
acetylene torch.
Yeah.
You get your calcium carbide there, about a 55-gallon drum.
Yeah.
And you just rig up yourself a water generator.
Yeah.
You slowly drip on a small pile of it and take the gas collector.
Well, that might be. Oh, and incidentally, getting back to the alcohol, right now it is illegal to make alcohol, but in the book it tells how to get your permit and all, and that's governed by the ATF. And of course, they're spread so far that they wouldn't really be interested unless you really attracted attention to yourself.
I would suspect when civilization falls, it'll be your local BATF there. They'll be setting up their own stills.
Probably so, because they'd probably know how to make it. I suppose they've confiscated enough stills, and I bet they put them off in the back room someplace, and they're using them for parties. Okay, Wildflower, is that about it? Let's give somebody else a chance. I appreciate your call, though.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye for now. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Another call. Hello, Kurt here.
Yeah, Kurt.
Yes.
Randy.
Hi, Randy.
I got a couple of things about last night's program. I was busy and couldn't get in.
Okay.
That one gentleman who was talking about bombers coming over his house a little bit more than usual.
Yeah.
One that lived by the... I got to have just a whole room full of communication equipment.
Yeah.
And I can receive teletype and stuff. And a lot of your military commands are sent over teletype.
Yeah.
And a lot of your South Pacific and Far East Pacific naval forces on yellow alert.
Yeah.
That came over 2 days ago. And your 82nd Airborne and your 101st Air Mobile units here in America, it's on naval and Air Force units in America here is on yellow alert.
Well, did they say anything what they expect to happen? And
they don't tell you that stuff. They just, you know, that yellow alert, at least it was when I was in the military, isn't much more than your standard alert status. All you're doing is basically getting ready to go to the next stage, if it goes to the next stage.
Well, I'm sort of sitting here thinking, well, now what are we going to hear on the news in the next couple of days?
The only thing I can think it remotely connected with might be Korea, because like I say, a lot of your Far East naval units was upgraded to a yellow alert.
Oh, well, they might be thinking of bombing Kim Il-sung back into the Stone Age.
And the gentleman was talking about carbide. Now, I used carbide lights a lot. I used to do a lot of cave exploring.
Yeah.
And carbide lights are very efficient.
Yes.
They burn for 2 or 3 hours just on one little, less than a handful of carbide. And if you got a light with a reflector on it, it gives a tremendous amount of light.
Well, when this guy sends me his brochure, I will give his address again, because I don't know where to get a carbide lamp. And I think everyone would. When I was a child, I played with mine. I had it, and they were a lot of fun to play with.
Oh, yeah. Well, the one place that people around the areas where there's a cave just they can find out if there's an association called the National Spelunker Society.
Yes, and those are speleologists, aren't they?
And they will, and I'm sure they can tell where to get the carbide lights and the carbide at, because of course a lot of your cavers went to electric lamps now, but I still use my carbide lights.
Well, you can always depend on your carbide.
Okay, now there was one other thing I forgot it, so
okay,
I'll let you go then.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. And if you would like to order tapes, the tapes are $6 each or $25 for a week's shows, postpaid. Send to Jeffries Audio, P.O. Box 326, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Hello, Kurt here.
Oh, Kurt, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Good. I was fixing to order that grain mill. This is Ben from
Ben.
East Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to order that grain mill, and does it like clamp onto something, or?
Yeah, it clamps onto a table.
Oh, okay. You just
or a workbench.
Right. Okay. And see, unfamiliar with this.
Yeah.
You know, you buy the corn or the grain, whatever from the store. Now, when you grind it, what do you do with the hull and everything? Does it separate, or you sift it, or what?
No, the hull is in there. I mean, you eat the hull.
Oh, okay.
If you're talking about corn, that's no consideration.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've never separated. I just grind it all and makes fantastic cornbread, much better than cornbread that's made in from stuff you buy at the store, because what you buy at the store is degerminated. It doesn't have the flavor. They take the germs out of it. That is the oily part, so that it will store longer.
And I guess that's all most of the nutrition.
Well, a lot of the nutrition is there too. Yes.
Right.
So this way you get it. Your grain is fresh, and it tastes better, and it's got all the vitamins and minerals in it.
Okay. Well, good. Good.
Because if you buy the cornmeal with the grain with the germ in it,
right,
then that'll cost you 40 cents a pound as opposed to about 28 cents a pound.
Yeah, I've heard you talking about that. And you know, I'm going to try to store some too.
Now, if you get the Poor Man's James Bond Strikes Again tape, then it shows where I demonstrate the mill.
Yeah.
What it looks like and how it works. Of course, the one I demonstrated is an old one 30 years ago.
Right.
But it works just as good now as it ever did.
Yeah.
And it works fine.
Okay.
I mean, for $40, you're getting something that will last you the life of your great-grandchildren.
Well, we don't have that long.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that you'll have great-grandchildren. I mean, the idea of surviving is to carry on your line.
Right. Well, I think that, you know, I think things are fixing to wind down, I think, before all that happens. I was going to tell your listeners, too, about the newsletter again. It's a Christian viewpoint of survival, and, you know, that guy was talking about guns a while ago and about taking somebody's life, and, you know, I talk about some of that in this and get other people's views as far as from a Christian view. It would be hard for me to take somebody's life myself.
Well, that's only normal if it isn't hard for you to take somebody. It's not hard for me to take someone's life if they're threatening me.
Well, yeah, but they've got a soul, and they're gonna.
Well, my motto is, if you don't care, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's your motto.
See?
Hey, let me give my address if you don't.
Well, I mean, just let me qualify that. If someone wants to hurt me, I don't owe him anything.
Right.
And if he wants to risk his life and his soul, then I don't care.
Yeah.
See, otherwise I wouldn't think of hurting someone that was no threat to me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a murderer.
Yeah.
So you quick give your address.
Okay. It's this Christian newsletter, and if they can send some postage stamps, that's all I care about. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not in this for money or nothing.
Well, okay, fine.
I want to help people. It's SWM.
Yeah.
And that's Post Office Box 771, and that's Gladewater. That's spelled with a G, Texas. The zip code is 75647.
Okay, now give it once more, but don't give it any more until next week.
I won't. It's SWM, and the address, the post office box is 771, and that's Gladewater, Texas. The zip code is 75647. I want to ask you one personal question. If they come out, you know, I've heard, if they come out with like a computer chip, let's say, to plant under the skin of your right hand in order for you to stay on the air, Kurt, I mean, would you take that under your skin of your right hand if that's what they require for you to stay on the air?
Well, I reckon so.
You would go ahead and take it.
Well, why wouldn't? Well, I mean, it's preposterous to at the outset, but.
You wouldn't consider that the mark of the beast?
No.
Why?
Well, because would it be 666?
Well.
Come on now, give me a break. I cannot I can't conceive of any program like that being set up. But if it was set up, if that was the only way that I could communicate with people, I would submit to it.
Well, that's probably what most of humanity will do, unfortunately.
Well, I've read that about the mark of the beast anyway, but it's more a stamp than anything else. It has to do with buying and selling. It's It's sort of like a credit card.
Right.
I think as far as the mark of the beast, if you could interpret, everyone has the mark of the beast because everyone has to have all kinds of identifications. See, when the Bible was written, people had no ID. See? Now, I got my driver's license. I got my Social Security. People with credit cards. Got your telephone number. Yeah, it's part of the system.
All part, and I think the system is part of the beast. Is the beast?
Okay.
The Bible talks about.
Okay, you go with that, but you see, I think that when the Bible was written, people didn't have credit cards. They didn't have phones or anything like that.
Well, I know, but the Bible was God inspired in it.
Well, regardless. See, they were
the future. You know, the future of the mark of the beast was something in the last days that would.
Well, possibly so, but you see, in those days they couldn't conceive of the kind of identification people have to carry around to function in their society. We have to have all kinds of identification.
Yeah, if you want to stay in the system, you do.
That's right.
But if you want to drop out of the system,
if you drop out of the system, if you want to drop out of the system, you have to live like a rat.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes, you do. Because
you might get persecuted and laughed at, but you don't have to live like a rat.
I don't think you'd be persecuted and laughed at. The idea is to drop out so that nobody knows. Now, I lived in the slums, and I hung around the really slum areas, and there are people there with no identity, living like rats, sleeping in the alley. The people who sleep on grates when it's cold, they may not have any IDs. They may not need one, but I wouldn't want to live like that. So as long as I've got...
I'm talking about intelligent people that have foreseen and planned and have them a place paid for, and you know, and if God protects them and lets them stay there, then that's what I'm talking about, not sleeping on a grate.
Well, I know, but I'm just trying to give you a frame of reference.
I see.
The person who wrote that about the mark of the beast, all of the...
that was John the Revelator. John.
I know that.
Okay.
But the person who wrote that about the mark of the beast could not have conceived of all of the identification that we have to have now, whereas in his time, only the people around you knew who you were.
He could have foreseen that if he was given a vision from God.
Well, he may and he may not. I'm not going to argue theology with you. I just wanted you to have a frame of reference about the time it was written and their idea of IDs.
Right.
And what we have to have now is IDs. And as far as an implant, I can't conceive of that, but I would rather keep my lines of communication open than to get defiant with them.
Right. Well, okie doke. Well, it's good talking to you, and I'm gonna order that grain meal because we're gonna need a lot of. I think everybody, all Christians, need to order that, and they need to have it on hand.
Well, Buddhists need it too.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, buddy.
Take care, Kurt.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Hello, Kurt here.
Hi, Kurt. This is Mike down in Florida.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, everybody's been talking about carbide lamps, and I got a place here you can order one.
Oh, good.
Here's the 800 number to get the catalog.
Okay.
It's 1-800-541-7162.
Give it again.
1-800-541-7162.
Okay, and how much do they cost?
$27.98. Yeah.
I remember when I got mine, it was less than $1.
Well,
of course, I was just a child.
Yeah. Well, these say they're premier brass miner's carbide lamp, handmade in England. It looks pretty good. They got a picture of it here.
Oh, they're very nice, very nice, and I suppose they're worth that.
Yeah. Well, they sell carbide too, but I don't think the price on that's very good at all.
No, I think you better go to any big hardware store and see if they stock it, because the last time I bought carbide in Harrison, it was 2 pounds for $4.
Oh gosh, this here is $2 for a half a pint.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I guess that fellow's going to send you some information on how to get it.
Well, I'll bet his carbide lamps are much cheaper too.
Well, that could be.
That could be.
Well, this is an option, but this is a good catalog to have anyway. They sell a lot of things for cleaning rifles and tools and so forth. So
well, it's an 800 number, not going to cost anything to call, or for the catalog.
Right, get a catalog. They got a lot of good stuff in here if you're interested in how to take care of your weapons.
Okay.
Okay, Kurt.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. And the mailing address for the $10 packet is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, and you get a $5 refund on either subscription to U.S. Militia or Shoestring Entrepreneur. And I want you to tell whether you want the book giving the laugh to most of this nonsense about slavery, or the book on how to make booze. Hello, Kurt. Oh, well, sorry. Yeah, well, here I am, yes. I got flustered.
Well, of course you are.
I'm old. I'm old and I'm sick.
Well, so I got some kind of problems.
Yes.
You know, you're talking about carbide lights, you know. This is Kurt Saxon, right?
Yes, it is.
And you were talking about carbide lights and
yes.
And things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Layman's non-electric catalog, Kidron, Ohio. For Amish people, they have carbide lights and carbide, although the carbide is rather expensive.
Well, it shouldn't be.
But it is.
I mean,
so what are we going to do? But anyway, they have it. You know.
Well, you see, if you
grain mills and things that you talk about.
Yeah.
So now, maybe you can enlighten me.
Yeah.
So where should I saw in a magazine the art of making primitive bows and arrows.
Yes.
Now, so where can I get information? I call it.
Oh, well, you can get that from volume 3 of The Poor Man's James Bond. It has the best section on how the Indians made their bows and arrows.
That's exactly what I like.
That I've ever seen.
Osage orange, and out here in Georgia we call it, I can't think what they call it, but it's different. But that's good wood, you know, the wood that you use and how you do this. I don't want to kill anything, I just want to know how to do this, you know.
Well, volume 3 is the...
Volume 3.
That's the one that I like best because it is so entertaining.
Yeah.
And
I've caught your show a couple of times, and you're talking about a long time ago and the things that our parents and grandparents and the knowledge that they had.
Yeah.
What I would like to regain, you know.
Well, if you order anything, then you'll get a sample copy of the Shoestring Entrepreneur, which is my catalog. Well, it's a publication in itself, but the last 3 or 4 pages is catalog, tells all about my books and tapes. But what you would love is the Survivors, because that's an that's an encyclopedia of 19th and early 20th century science and technology. Everything that your great-grandparents did, like in Volume 4 of this Survivor, has the complete text, over 400 pages, of Mackenzie's 10,000 recipes from 1865. Every kind of thing you want to do, business, well, not business, but trades, crafts, and of course that's just part of the Volume 4. It's got a whole lot more than that, because every volume has about 4 to 6 books, plus assorted articles on trades and cottage industries and things like that. Yeah,
but on the tires you were talking about earlier, when you're hungry, who cares what they look like? You know?
Yeah. Well, it's just a basic thing. I think they would they'd look a little nicer if they were turned inside out, but if it's going to be
if you're hungry, you don't care, right?
If it's going to be all that trouble, it's not worth it.
No, it's not. I wouldn't think so. Yeah, well, you know, now, what I was talking about, when I was a kid, like back in the 50s, I ate all this shredded wheat just to get these straight arrow and Nabisco cards out there that tells me how to build this and that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't guess you ran into those things, but I love knowing how to do things like that.
You love the Survivors.
Yeah, I guess so. So I might take advantage of your offer there. Well, thank you, but listen, Layman's non-electric catalog, they have the carbide, and they're up in Kidron, Ohio.
Yeah.
And they have anything that you want to survive like that, you know?
Yeah.
The grain mill, I was thinking about getting one of those. They're like built for a lifetime, too.
Well, it's probably the same.
Stone burrs, they have the steel burrs, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the steel burrs is best because the stone burrs,
the stone is for like non-oily, like sunflower seeds and things. But steel burrs will do that. But now they say lies, I suppose. But anyway, for corn and things like that, I would think stone. Some people might prefer it, but steel, I would go with steel.
I would go with the steel.
If I was chipping out flint arrowheads and somebody give me a piece of steel, I think I'd hit heaven, wouldn't you?
I reckon.
Take care.
Okay, buddy. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Hello, Kurt here.
Yeah, hi, Kurt. How you doing?
Doing fine.
Say, did you happen to write down the 800 number?
Oh.
I was outside stacking wood and I heard I couldn't get inside fast enough to get a pen.
Well, maybe he'll give it again sometime, or maybe somebody else, maybe the next caller wrote it down, and he will, when he calls, he'll give it over the air.
Yeah, right now that's a heck of a good price on those carbide lamps.
That's a good, $21 is a good.
$27, I think you said.
That's a good price.
The guy that called yesterday said we had the lamps and everything, because we can't beat that price. Because we're just a small little back home company, and we can't beat that price. So they ought to go ahead and call it number, I think.
Yeah. Well,
because we can't buy them that cheap.
Well, how come they went up so much in price? Because I do remember when I was a child, I got mine for about $1.
Oh, I think it's just like everything else, inflation.
We're talking about 50 years ago, sure, but even so.
Yeah, and like I say, the ones they're selling now aren't near as good quality as ones that were made, even 10, 15 years ago.
Probably not. Well, and another, for instance, I bought my Corona grain mill 30 years ago for $12, and now they go for $40 plus $4 postage and handling, and that's about as cheap as you can get that model anywhere, and a lot of places sell it more expensive.
Yes, unfortunately, everything's going up.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll keep listening. I had this stuff sent off to you. I don't know if they can beat the price or not, but like I say, if anyone is interested, that is a good price for those lamps, and their brand. That is a good brand. There's only 2 companies still making them.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, Kurt.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Hello, Kurt here.
Hey, this is Mike again, Kurt.
Mike.
Yeah, I got you that 800 number.
Okay.
It's 541-7162.
Okay, give it again.
541-7162. And the name of the company is Creedmoor.
Yes.
And I meant to tell you before, they also sell parts for M1 Garands.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah, that's why I like them.
That's nice. Well, now, maybe the last caller who also sells them but can't meet the price, maybe he ought to contact this Creedmoor and see who their dealers are. Maybe he ought to get them direct from the manufacturer, even if he's got to go to England.
Yeah, there you go. It says it's from England, so he could probably get them less if he got it right from England.
Yeah. And I'm sure Creedmoor would be nice enough to let him know, because most people in business are.
Could be. Okay, Kurt, just wanted to let you know.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good night.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, phone number is 501-437-2963. Hello, Kurt here.
Hello, this is Michael from Lakeland, Florida.
Hi, Michael.
I wanted to show myself as different from the other Mike from Florida.
Yes.
And
I can tell by your voice. You're different. You're not him.
Okay, and while I was looking around for a thermos, I saw those Coleman oil-fired lamps that I like so much.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you've ever used one enough to justify the price, which was like $35 in the Walmart.
Well, if they're $35 in Walmart, they're considerably more expensive anywhere else. So if you need one, I think you better get it from Walmart. But I'm not a camper myself, so I don't really know too much about. Well, I used to do all kinds of stuff, see, but I don't know what the fair market price of camping equipment is anymore. When I ran around with Boy Scouts, then they talked a lot about that sort of stuff, and girls, and I had a Coleman one time, and I don't know what I did with it. I don't even know if I ever turned it on. But if you're into that sort of thing, I would say get it from Walmart if you can, and from your Walmart you also ought to get an Aladdin thermos, but a narrow mouth, not the wide mouth, because the wide mouth lets too much heat escape through the plastic thing, but the narrow mouth doesn't let hardly any heat escape at all. So even though you got to dig stuff out with a fork, you'd rather dig it out cooked than not cooked.
Well, the one I saw in there was a thermos model with a stainless steel lining, and I was wondering if there was anything else to it.
Well, just examine the box. There's all kinds of, there's the cap to it and so on like that. I mean, it's not a machine. It doesn't have any moving parts, but it's certainly sturdy and it'll last you a lifetime. Nothing can break it unless you really meant to.
Oh, what I was thinking about was, would it make any difference what's between the lining and the outer case?
No.
Okay, well...
No, I have an Aladdin thermos, and it serves me very well. And it'll serve me well for many, many years.
Well, the one in Walmart was $21.95, and there was another for $19.95.
Well, maybe the $19.95 was the wide-mouthed one.
Okay.
Regardless of the price, though, get the one with the narrow mouth.
Well, I was just giving some of your listeners an idea of the cost.
Well, that's good. That's good. But they cost about $35 if you order them through a sporting goods store.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yes.
Well, I thank you very much.
Well, you're very welcome, Michael.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye for now. Okay, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas. Hello, Kurt Saxon here.
Hello, Kurt. Calling from Central Canada.
Uh-huh.
Never called you before. Have you had any calls from up here?
Quite a few. Quite a few.
I heard you earlier this week talking about Waco.
Yeah?
Seems to me you don't know very much about it. You know, it sounded like you've been brainwashed by the FBI and the ATF.
I certainly have been.
You have, yeah?
Yeah, I have
been. That's what I thought.
Definitely. Well, enlighten me.
Well, the fact is that these people were murdered and burned alive. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, of course. Yes.
You agree with that?
Well, no, but you're stating your opinion, and you're welcome to it. I want you to be able to do it.
Okay. And one other thing, Kurt, are you aware that they're going to have a program about you on another station this weekend?
Fantastic. What station is that?
That is RFPI, Radio for Peace International. Do you know anything about them?
I never heard of it.
On shortwave. Do you have a good receiver?
Yes, I do.
Okay, tune in 7375.
7375.
I'm not quite sure about the time, but you could try about 8:30 tonight.
Yeah.
They'll be on several times over the weekend. I don't know at what time,
but I think
it could be at 8:30 tonight. Give it a try, and I'm sure they'll be bashing you. That's a leftist station, you know. It's a Marxist station.
Oh, I'd love to.
Last weekend they were bashing Tom Valentine.
Well, if
they were calling him a racist and a bigot and everything else.
Well, if they call him that, what do you think they'll call me?
Yeah, just watch.
Yes. Well,
you should try to listen to that.
If I get it, I'll tape it and I'll play it back to my listeners. I'm sure they'd get a kick out of it.
Okay, maybe somebody else knows more about it and can give you the times.
That would be good. Oh, incidentally, now since you're from Canada, I had a visitor from Canada who sells my books up there, and he says that the Poor Man's James Bond series is no longer banned in Canada.
Oh, I don't know about that, but you know...
Well, he sells books up there. He takes them across the border, and we send them to him in Washington State, and then he drives across the border, and the customs people look at his stock, a Poor Man's James Bond, it's not restricted, and off he goes.
I didn't know that, because we're living in a police state up here. Do you know that?
Yes. Well, they've...
We can't even take cigarettes from one province into the other. We can get a two-year jail sentence for that.
Yes. Well...
That's how far we are.
Yes. Anyway, the Poor Man's James Bond are not judged like cigarettes. So the people in Canada can own the Poor Man's James Bond.
Well, I'll cut it off for now, Kurt. I just wanted to let you know about that broadcast. And don't forget at 8:30.
Okay, I'll see if Kerry can maybe tape it, and we'll play it back to y'all. And I sure appreciate your call.
Yeah, bye for now.
Okay, bye for now. Okay, the phone number again is 501-437-2963. Hello there.
Hello. This is Brian from Louisville.
Hi, Brian. Let's make you our last caller.
I have a catalog here full of camping equipment. I thought there might be some listeners out there that'd be interested.
Yeah.
It's just got a variety of everything.
Well, what's the name of it?
Oh, the company's called Campmore.
Campmore. Do they have a carbide lamp?
I couldn't find one in there, but they have water filtration and sleeping bags, clothing, and all kinds of stuff.
Well, how are they in comparison with Sears?
They seem to be a little bit cheaper, actually.
Is that right? Well, that's a good... do they sell their catalog or give it away?
Oh, they give it away. They're very friendly.
Well, do they have an 800 number or a regular number? Could you give the number? I'm sure a lot of people would like to know.
I sure can. It's 1-800-526-4784.
Go on. Give it again.
1-800-526-4784.
Oh, that's a good. That's good. Well, you see, you just pick up your phone and order a free catalog. If it's cheaper than Sears, you can't beat that.
Yeah, they have tarps, cots. I mean, I was really impressed.
Mm-hmm. Is it a thick catalog?
It's let's look here. About 140 pages.
Well, that should cover the field.
Yep. It looks like they got pretty good quality stuff.
Yeah.
I just ordered your info pack a couple of days ago.
Yeah, well.
Been listening for a few weeks now. I like your show very much.
Well, you might get my first issue of U.S. Militia.
That'll be fine.
But if we get it in maybe like a week from now, then we will put in the fourth issue. And it's going to be a bang-up. Clarence really invented a fantastic murder weapon.
I'm looking forward.
And for the fourth issue. And after the sixth issue is going to be his last, because I got to send him back to the Laughing Academy, because he's getting too dangerous even for me.
Well.
But everybody loves him. People write in, they want him for Pope and things like that, and they're building a cult around him, and that's really not healthy. Of course, you see, he can get away with anything because he's a psychotic. And if they should catch him, which is highly unlikely, they just send him back there. But since he doesn't drive, he goes by bus. He doesn't have any friends except a cat, and just lives in little sleeping rooms and places like that. And he's off to kill every Martian on the planet, and he does that very well. He's killed, well, probably about 3,000 Martians so far, only they didn't know they were Martians. And it's just such he's a great character. My wife says that he's my alter ego. But
well, I watched you on the Jerry Springer show the other day.
Oh, did you like it?
Yes, I did.
Well, what did you give me a comment or two? We'll make you our last caller because we just got we got 1 minute. See.
I really wish the little the punk with the mask on would have took it off.
Well, you wouldn't have recognized him 5 minutes later. He was totally nondescript. He didn't have any brains. He was a pathetic little guy. I don't even know if he was a burglar. Maybe he just didn't find to see how he got on the show. Of course, Jerry Springer people, they wouldn't have alerted the cops to him. They might have gotten him they might have called the police and asked, well, do you know a young punk that had come on the show? And they'd probably comply.
You think he might have been just an actor?
Oh, he wasn't an actor. No, I met him backstage without the mask, and he was he's a total loser. Total nothing.
Seems like there's a lot of those floating around these days.
Oh, there are. Okay, that's about it. Thanks for your call. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.